everyone, Jen here. It's Lunar Day 14 for seeing the spirits and subjugating them. I did not do any subjugating of spirits, unless you count my toilet. Yes, the mundanities of home ownership. Our toilet is busted. It's working, like we can use it, but it needs to be replaced. So I spent today doing research and at Bunnings, and then deciding that I would just have to get a plumber. So kind of just took up so much of the day, like today, and by the time I got home I had to go run an errand for the in-laws, and then by the time I got home I was starving, so we had an early dinner. Then yeah, it's just been a day. So here we are, and it's 9 o'clock, and I'm recording the video now, and tomorrow is the full moon. Tomorrow is also the day for speaking with demons, so that's really good. If you know the full moon, and obviously lunar days, it's always going to be the full moon for speaking with demons, right? So if you're working with the Agathos demon, or any of your own personal demons, or the other demons from the grimoires and things like that, tomorrow's a good day for getting messages from them and doing your workings. It's the full moon. There's lots and lots of charging that happens then, and some distilling, and I probably won't do any distilling tomorrow because the weather is going to take a turn for the worst, but I will drain some tinctures and infuse some tinctures. So it's a Thursday Jupiter, so we get good fortune, which will be great. So you know, it's just an all-round good day to do stuff like that. What else? Yeah, today just felt like I didn't get to do anything, but that's okay. That's okay. We have those days where you have to deal with other stuff. I wanted to talk about another book today. This one's more on the mundane side of herbs, and this was recommended to me very early on by an Australian herbalist. This is Materia Medica of Western Herbs for the Southern Hemisphere. I believe that they use it as a textbook at a few of the colleges of natural medicine. It's by Carol Fisher and Gillian Painter. It is one of those, it's very basic, it's very basically put together. It's an ugly old book, but it has so much information in it. You know, the aims of this text are, and it's actually for the teaching students of herbal medicine in New Zealand. And the aims are to provide information relevant to our conditions in the Southern Hemisphere, to enable students to identify and grow the plants, to provide a comprehensive picture of all aspects of each herb, to bring together in one book up-to-date information on botanical nomenclature, active constituents, actions of and indications for each herb, and to link a herb's constituents and actions so that the conditions for their use become obvious and easy to remember. It's 1996, so it is 24 years old. It has at the back the different types of inflorescences and some botanical keys. It has, oh, that's probably messing up my microphone, but it has a glossary of terms. The front is there's a definition of the herbal actions. There is the book is set out by botanical names alphabetically, and then there is a key for the common names. It shows a little drawing of each plant if possible. So I have handily bookmarked this time. The nettle for each plant, it sort of talks about the, I'm trying to hold this in frame, about the family and the useful plants from it. There's a description, habit and cultivation, parts used, active constituents, nutritional constituents, its actions, the medicinal uses that go through the different systems of the body, so your respiratory tract, the gastrointestinal, genitourinary, musculoskeletal, skin, and external usage. And then it actually has what I find the most useful part of this book is the pharmacy part, which talks about the dosages of different types of parts of the herb. So for nettle, it says a 3 times daily dosage. If you're using an infusion of the dried herb, 3 to 6 grams. If you're using a 1 to 5 tincture, it's 2 to 6 mils. If you're using a fluid extract, it's 2 to 4 mils, and the fresh juice is 5 to 10 mils. That is a piece of information that a lot of herb books, they don't really cover. And this being such a text, it does cover much more thoroughly, or thoroughly but succinctly, that information. There's also precautions and historical uses, very briefly, you know. And that's, you know, that's the reason you need to have stuff like this on hand. So you need to be able to look at the herbs you're using in a medicinal or therapeutics situation, and be able to discuss what amounts you would use, what the contraindications are, how it responds and its actions on each system of the body, and from this is where we go from here to how I work with things magically. So let's have a look. Let's go to nettle for a second. Okay, so skin and external. It's used on eczema, infantile and nervous eczema, and cutaneous eruptions, so those little white pimples, ulcers and wounds as a styptic on those. Now, okay, so let's look at that. It's protective, it stops a flow, so, you know, it's a styptic, that means it stops the flow of blood. It's astringent, you know, all of those things mean that it has protective. It's about, astringent means things tighten up, so tightening up your protective things. You know, it's also stinging, right? So there's that outside action where it stops the, you know, obviously when we use it, by the time we use it medicinally, it's not going to be stinging, but the plant itself is stinging, right? So we've got that doctrine of signatures kind of sympathetic magic where the stinging can go out to those who would do you harm, but it's a strongly nutritive plant, so it's really nutritious and good for you. So yes, monkey, it's got a bit of chatty today. I'm recording a video. So magically we can use nettle to sting those who would do us harm, but also nourish ourselves and help us deal with the wounds from those people who've done us harm. So so that's how I like to incorporate the thoughts of medicinal properties of plants. And actually the other one is astringents, right? Astringents make you go suck, you know, tighten. And so you look at your own self and sorry guys, and take note of what you need to do to tighten up your own protections and other actions like that. So that's the point of the course that I'll be running is talking about how we can work through from the medicinal actions of plants, and the type of illnesses that they treat, and how that can relate to how we use them in magic. That's all for tonight. Sorry, I've got a cat who really wants attention. He's jumping all over us. And there's lots to do. So I will talk to you tomorrow. Get ready for the full moon. Speak with your demons if you need to. That can be metaphorically or literally. And I hope you all have a good full moon, and I will talk to you tomorrow.